Colby Averett and the Wildcats, how well they've been doing this year on the runs of Colby Averett. Here he averages about 99 yards a game for the Wildcats.
All right, Jones gets, and he's hit right. Jones keeps it. Nice keep because Colby Averett got drilled right at the point of when he should have gotten the ball. Jones saw he was going to get drilled, pulled it back, went off the left. He'll pick up 2 or 3. Nice job by Jones. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Big number 79 for Summit Academy. Looks like they've got him listed as a sophomore, 79 to 6'1", sophomore, 210 pounds. Was right there at that mesh point as you talked about, and Jones did a good job of reading that and pulling.
Jones now looking to pass, little swing pass to the left side. He's got a good man out there who's going to pick up the first down. Ball's out to Jordan McNair on the reception. He's going to get out to the 47-yard line. 1st and 10, South Summit. Good job by McNair on the pass from Jones.
And I'm happy to see each week South Summit has a little bit, another wrinkle that they add to the offense, and they continue to put things in to try to make themselves more versatile as an offense. And it's a good thing, obviously, to do, and that's obviously one thing Coach Parker wants to do is build up their offense, build up the plays that they can use and be effective at, and that was another effective play that they put in this week.
All right, Jones going to pitch right on the option. He's got Averett again. Averett's looking for a seam. He cuts it up, looking for somebody to hit, and finally gets some contact at the 42-yard line. That's just past the 1st-yard marker. It's about 11-yard pickup. They'll move the chains. It'll be 1st and 10. South Summit into Summit Academy territory.
It's that speed option play that they like to run, and you can see kind of the scouting report that teams are picking up that they've got to force Ty Jones to pitch the ball and get the ball out of his hands, because we've seen what he can do when he gets in the open field. He's quick, he makes people miss, and he picks up big yards. So they're trying to force South Summit to pitch the ball, but fortunately for the Wildcats, the person he's been pitching to is Colby Averett, our leading runner of the season.
So 1st and 10, South Summit into Summit Academy side of the field. This time Averett's going to get hit right at the line of scrimmage. He'll pick up about a half a yard to a yard. Good job there by Summit Academy on the stop. They'll take it to the 41-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 9.
Nathan McKay and Colby Beard for Summit Academy in the middle, breaking up the run there. A short gain for the Wildcats, and that's one thing sometimes it takes a little while. This year I've noticed the Wildcats have had a hard time at the beginning getting yardage in the middle, and as the game moves on, they kind of wear down that inside linebacker, inside defense, and they're able to pick yards further.
Jones back to Santos. Santos on a step back. He's got good room. He's across the 30 down to the 25-yard line, and just going to the quick little step back passes off to each side, and Santos will pick up about 15, 16 yards. It'll be 1st and 10, and South Summit.
Only reason that play is effective is that our receivers are getting out and making good blocks in the open field, and that's sometimes tough to do. Tough to keep engaged and maintain that block enough to pick up the yards that they have. So a good job outside by our receivers, and Bracken Santos does a good job of picking up the yards there.
So South Summit doing a good job on this first offensive series. Combination of some short, quick passes, some pitches, some runs up the middle, and doing what they've done on nearly the beginning of every game is establishing themselves on the offensive side as well as the defensive side. 6:28 left in this first quarter. And Jones now fake pitches. He rolls left. He's got a man. Nice pass from Jones. Goes out. He's going to pick up about 8. And the receiver there is
Colby Averett coming out of the backfield.
Nice snappy throw again from Jones. Man, he's looked good the last couple of weeks throwing the ball. He gets that arm up high, delivers a real tight spiral right on the money to Averett. Picks up 7. Good job there from South Summit.
The waggle pass, as they call that, is he fakes one way and then he gets his fullback in the flat. Coming the other way on a bootleg. Colby Averett did a great job of making a catch and then making a move after the catch to pick up an extra 5 yards.
All right, Jones hands up the middle, and Averett's going to be stopped short. He'll pick up about a yard, bring up 3rd and 2 inside the 20 now at about the 17-yard line. So South Summit will be on a 3rd down and short situation.
And each week we've talked about how effective South Summit is inside of the red zone. Very rarely have they been stopped once they got inside that 20-yard line. Most of the time they're ending up with 6 points and a touchdown, and we'll see if they can continue that trend here tonight.
McNair wide to the left, Miles wide to the right, in motion. Goes Gines. Jones keeps it. He's got a chance to go in, and he will. Touchdown. Ty Jones on a nice little keeper up the left-hand side. Great blocking, created a huge seam for him. Cannons blaring, I like that, as they're firing on the first touchdown. And South Summit on homecoming night gets out to an early 6-0 lead on a nice 17-yard run by Ty Jones. 6-0 lead for South Summit.
Right on cue, as we talked about them being effective in the red zone. Ty Jones follows the lead blockers and gets into the end zone from 17 out.
Bracken Santos with the extra point, kicks up and looks good right down the middle on the hold from Ty Jones. And with 5:11 in this first quarter, South Summit strikes first. They take a 7-0 lead. We'll take a break. Back with you, 5:11 left in the first quarter. South Summit on their first offensive possession. Burns about 5 minutes off the clock, marches the length of the field, scores on a 17-yard run from Ty Jones, and South Summit up 7-0.
The offense sure didn't look sluggish coming out for South Summit tonight. Typically homecoming, as we said, sometimes it's hard to get it started, but South Summit looked crisp offensively, marched it down the field on their first possession.
Harley Georgie this time boots it to about the 6-yard line, and it's taken right there, and again got some good room for Summit Academy, and he's really got some room as he's breaking tackles, and once again he's right out to the exact same spot they got on the first job. His flags flying all over the place. Some extracurricular activity going on there, and somebody's in trouble, but a nice return from Summit Academy as they're out to the 39-yard line. I wish I had a replay to see what all those flags flew, because somebody
looked like there were some punches thrown after the play. One of the Summit Academy, from what I saw, one of the Summit Academy's players had one of our guys down on the ground and was swatting him in the head as they had him pushed down. We'll see what they call. They just kicked the guy out. Yeah, they must have been a punch thrown, and the officials saw it. Typically what happens there is they catch the second guy. This time they caught the first guy throwing punches to the back of the head of one of the South Summit players, and that is an automatic ejection. It was number 68, Tyler Lancaster. They didn't indicate which team had the personal foul. They just indicated a personal foul and then an ejection, and didn't indicate which team they were putting it on. So still kind of a mystery who they're going to be kicking out here.
Well, there seems to be a little more of an intense discussion on the Summit Academy side.
So here's, they called it against Summit Academy, and I think it was number 68. And they're going to talk to the opposing coach, give them an explanation of what they saw, but it was fairly clear they were kind of out on their own. Had a clear view by the officials. So that's going to negate another good return by Summit Academy. Kind of scary, the first two returns. He was one tackle away from breaking that one down the sideline for 6. Of course, it would have come back, but still a little bit scary on those kickoffs so far for South Summit tonight.
So it'll take it back down to the 23-yard line of Summit Academy. They'll start there 1st and 10, lose 15 of that good yardage on the kick return, and they're 5:01. There's 5:01 left here in this first quarter. South Summit leading by 7. And Summit Academy will get the ball for the second time, as both teams have burned a little time and still taking a little delay over there on that side, trying to get things situated and making sure they got the right player, that he's not out, that everything's clear. And unfortunately for Summit Academy, that will mean that player will have to miss next week as well. So tough break for the Summit Academy, as they don't need any additional challenges against the tough South Summit team tonight, and that one's going to hurt them a bit. So number 10 for Summit Academy, Hagen Hines back to quarterback for the Bears. And he's going to keep it this time, and he's going to pick up a yard or two. He's going to get out to about the 25-yard line. Looks like he'll pick up about one, where it'll be 2nd and 9.
Yeah, a long one on there, trying to pick up yards in the middle, and of course that's the strength of South Summit's defense. Their front four, along with their middle linebackers inside, do a great job of plugging things up in the middle. Very few teams are able to run right up the gut, and he was unable to pick up very many yards.
He looks like a big, strong
He
kid.
is.
He's listed as 230.
230.
In the program, and it looks like he carries every bit of 230 as he's a big, strong kid who's got a good arm. And handoff. There's movement in the backfield for Summit Academy as he got a little bit of a quick start, and they're going to flag him. Looks like they'll take it back 5. He only picked up about 1. I guess they could decline it if they wanted, but a false start on Summit Academy. South Summit will push him back 5, where it'll be now 2nd and 14, back to the 21. So Summit Academy hitting themselves here in the foot a bit. And so it'll bring up now 2nd and long for the Bears. They showed early on the first possession, they come up firing quickly with a couple of nice balls that led to some first downs.
That first pass right out of the gate looked pretty good. They've been unable to really duplicate that so far.
All right, Hines in the shotgun. Only one back this time. 2 wide to the right, 2 wide to the left. He's looking to pass, and he's going to throw it right in the direction of a South Summit defender. This looks like there's some miscommunication on the route as number 24 went deep instead of posting, and McNair about got himself another interception. It'll bring up 3rd and 14.
Intended for number 21. And as you said, it looked like the receiver run a slant when the quarterback was throwing a post. It was overthrown almost far enough to get all the way to Quinn Zimmerman, who was defending on this side as a right cornerback for the Wildcats. Looked like he was dropped deep into his zone coverage for that particular pass.
All right. South Summit corners playing tight coverage right at the line of scrimmage. And Hines now is going to fake handoff, looking to pass. He's going to roll right, and he's going to throw. He's got a man, but it's short, and it's picked off. And South Summit's returning the ball back inside the 35 to the 32-yard line. Let's see who the interception's there.
It was either Jordan McNair or Stephen Flinders back there. It's hard to tell who that was.
So at any rate, we'll try to find out who the interception was by, but interception by South Summit. They get the turnover, and now they get the ball right into Summit Academy territory at the 31-yard line. And Summit Academy now starting to play right into the hands of the Wildcats, giving them a short field. After another successful offensive set the first time, Jones is looking to pass. He wants to go deep, and he had a man, just threw it just a bit behind him. If he could have let him a hair, it would have been 6. Keaton Gines tries to fall back to get it, but ball behind him, falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd and 10.
And he gave a little bit of a pump fake there just before he threw, and maybe that threw off his timing a little bit. As you said, had Keaton Gines wide open. Just if he'd have let him at all, he was wide open, and it was good route. As you said, good protection there from the offensive line. Ty Jones had all day, no pressure at all, had plenty of time to step up and throw, and that bodes well for the Wildcats in the future.
So Jones looks at a 2nd and 10. Strong to the right this time, and Jones is going to throw the little overhand option this time, way high, and that almost looked like it was behind.
It could have been lateral if it had stayed in bounds. We probably would have had to get on top of that.
I think they're going to do it. The opposing side's coming in saying, is he?
Yeah, it looks like they marked it as incomplete because they put it back to the original line of scrimmage. But as you said, it looked like it was a lateral, in which case they should have marked it where it went out of bounds, and that's what they're discussing now.
Because it was right close, and if I had to guess, it looked like it was behind him.
So
maybe they won't do it.
Yeah, it's fortunate they called that an incomplete pass as opposed to a lateral.
Bring up 3rd and 10. 3:29 left in this first quarter, and Jones going to come on a counter to Freestone. Freestone's hit behind the line of scrimmage. Great job by Summit Academy sniffing that counter play out, and they'll push South Summit back on about a 5-6 yard loss. The ball will go all the way back to the 35, where it's 4th and about 15.
Colby Beard reading that as their middle linebacker coming up, number 8, and making the stop. And if he was coached up, he probably was reading their blockers and recognized the counter coming the other way, and he was able to meet the guy in the backfield.
South Summit's going to go for it. 4th and 15 at the 35. Jones is rolling right, looking to pass. He's going to put one on the air. Fires a shot to McNair. McNair breaks free. He's got the first down. He's all the way down to the 10 as Jones fired a bullet right into the gut of McNair. He caught it, took a clear down to the 10-yard line. He'll pick up the first down. It'll be 1st and 10 at the 11, so they're just outside of goal situation. So great job, South Summit, picking up a 4th and long.
Like you said, that was a bullet. That thing, McNair had no choice but to catch that thing. If he didn't, it'd just knock him over. Threw that thing hard, and then McNair had to pick up a few extra yards after the catch to get the first down. So 4th and 15, and South Summit converts.
Jones looking sharp at the quarterback spot. He's going to hand up off the middle to Averett. Averett breaks the tackle. He's going to force his way into waiting for a ball.
Touchdown.
Touchdown, South Summit. I was looking at this right-hand guy. He wasn't calling it. The left-hand side did. Cannon's blowing again, shaking the stadium as South Summit goes up 13-0.
Colby Averett, again, our workhorse, picking up the tough yards and carrying the defenders into the end zone. 2 or 3 guys latched on, and he just determined, drug his way back right into the end zone.
Santos waiting to kick the extra point. Oh, they're going to fake it this time. They go directly to Santos. He's looking to pass. He's got a man. Is in the end zone. Good! And South Summit trying the trickery for later engagements, and they go on a direct snap to Santos. Santos rolls left, gets somebody rolling to the right on the receiving end, fires a nice ball. 2-point conversion, South Summit. It's a 15-0 lead.
And it's definitely an advantage for the South Summit Wildcats to have one of your backup quarterbacks as your kicker, because you have the option of doing something like that. And as you said, that probably wasn't for this game, running that play. They're probably trying to see what's going to work for maybe a time down the line where they need a 2-point conversion, as they're out to an early lead here, 15-0, and they converted successfully. A nice pass delivered there by Bracken Santos. Not a lot of room, so the guy certainly wasn't wide open. He led him well, and the guy went down and got that pass.
So a 15-0 lead now for South Summit as Summit Academy makes it much easier on that drive. Only 30-plus yards to convert on the touchdown. South Summit does it again, converts on a long 4th and 15. And South Summit doing it on all ends of both sides of this ball, defensively and offensively, getting an interception, converting on some 4th and long pass plays, some run plays, some trick plays. It's all working thus far for South Summit. And maybe the ball started to roll on these Summit Academy Bears. 15-0 lead, 2:20 left in the first quarter. See if Georgie can get a leg into one. This time he boots it hard, and it's going to go right to the 1. And Summit Academy will pick it up there, and again he's got good yardage. He's going to get out close to where he was before, out close to the 35-yard line. 3 consecutive good returns by the Bears out past the 35, and they'll start in good field goal position or field position again.
Yeah, as you said, that's one of the things that if they get an or get that chance to run it, that's why you always love to see Harley kick it into the end zone, and maybe he's got a bit of a wind coming at him. We'll see if that changes in the second half where he can kick it the other direction. But or in the second quarter even, we'll even see if he can catch it or kick it the other direction into the end zone.
All right, so Hines for Summit Academy. He's got to get this offensive team going for Summit Academy, or this thing might get away from him quickly. In motion, they're going to hand off right up the middle, and slew of South Summit defenders. So right there, looks like he may pick up a half a yard possibly. It's going to be 2nd and 9.
Nice job by the Wildcats as there's somebody slow to get up. It looks like it's one of the Summit Academy as he was hit by almost everybody on the team. They stacked him up in the middle. As we said, our interior defense is very tough to run against. 53 for South Summit, that's Riley Fees. We've got Ty Clegg as a D end. Number 78, Hunter Angel inside. And our linebackers, Colby Averett, Carson Freestone.
Number 4, C.J. Dineno, the right tackle,
our other tackle.
Brad Richens on the left side. A lot of good guys up front for the Wildcats. Hines, nice ball. Defender slips. He's got the first down. He's going to be across the 46-yard line. About a 13, 14-yard pickup for Summit Academy. It's across the first down area. It'll be 1st and 10 at the 46.
And that's a tough thing to defend on the outside. If you've got somebody that can run that comeback route effectively and the quarterback throws it on time, it's tough to defend. If you're in your back pedal at all and get back on your heels at all, you try to change directions, and sometimes that's what happened. Your feet kind of go out from under you. And that was a nicely thrown ball there by Summit Academy.
Completely open set this time. 3 wide to the right, 2 wide to the left. Nobody in the backfield with Hines. Is he's going to either run it or get rid of it quick. He runs, and a big load. He got low and ran over a South Summit defender as he was hit at about the 50-yard line. He leans in forward for a hard yard as he was hit hard there by a South Summit backer, and he's going to pick up about 6. It'll bring now up 2nd and long 4, short 5.
And you see his helmet came off during the run, so according to rules, he has to come off for one play there. Picked up some tough yards, but our Wildcat defender, as you said, had to get low, and that's exactly what you've got to do against a guy that outweighs you. Get low, hit him in the hips, and then try to hold your ground. And we'll see what kind of backup quarterback Summit Academy has, as they'll have to go to him.
It's number 3 in. Looks like number 3.
Joe Denos.
Is that 3 or 8?
It looks like 3. They're going to go ahead and call a timeout here, it looks like.
All right, we'll take one as well. South Summit's leading 15-0 with 5 seconds left in this first quarter. All right, 2nd and 5 for Summit Academy, just inside the 50 into South Summit territory. Hines now back into the ball game in the shotgun. Nobody there to help him again. He's going to roll left, trying to find. He's hit hard. The ball's loose. It's on the ground, and 55 picked it up for South Summit. 55 is Brad Richens picks it up as he tried to spin right, the throw going to his left, and just as he pulled the ball up, he got drilled, knocked the ball loose.
That was C.J. Deneno. Man, he looked like an outside linebacker or DB coming in. He had some speed as he was closing fast on that quarterback. He tried to stop, set up, and throw the pass, but Deneno was right there, hit him hard, knocked the ball loose, and Brad Richens was living the defensive lineman's dream there for a minute as he scooped and tried to score but got chased down from behind, and that's going to end the first quarter for South Summit.
So I thought Summit Academy started out pretty well. They moved the ball a little bit. They were managing things a bit, but now they've gone to consecutive turnovers, and once again they've given our Wildcats a short field from which to work. We're going to switch ends of the field because we've played on the Summit Academy side for most of this quarter, and now we'll continue to do so as the ball is going to be set right at the 24-yard line. So 24 yards for South Summit to strike again. And if they're not careful, this thing is going to get ugly soon if they don't start taking better care of the football, as South Summit has taken advantage each time they've gotten the ball and scored. And once again have a great opportunity to punch it in again from a short field.
Yeah, South Summit's kind of starting out like a steam engine here. Takes a little bit of time to get things going, but once you start picking up momentum, it's going to be tough to stop this Wildcat defense. As you see once again, another takeaway, giving South Summit a short field.
Jones looking left. He wants to throw. This time he's going to look right. He's got a man in the end zone. Oh, just underthrew him. Had a man wide open. That was Isaac Tillett in the end zone. Just barely threw it short and one-hopped a little bit to Tillett. Jones would like to have that one back. It'll bring up 2nd and 10.
And that's maybe one thing Jones can work on as he threw kind of on the run there, and sometimes when you do that, you leave things short. If he'd have taken that extra half a second to plant that foot and get out on that front foot, he may have gotten it there. And that's one thing maybe he can work on, as he had plenty of time to deliver the ball.
Jones this time, he's going to go left, and he's going to be breaking a tackle. Now he's got some room. He's got a chance to go. He breaks one more tackle. Touchdown, Ty Jones from the 24-yard line. He broke 2 tackles, got outside, beat a man to the corner, and once again, it's a 24-yard scamper, South Summit touchdown. It's a 21-0 lead.
And he had some pressure in the backfield initially. That defensive end got upfield quick. Jones just showed the speed and athleticism to get around him, and once he did, turned on the turbo speed and got to the sideline, broke a tackle, and got into the end zone. So a dynamic player we've got in Ty Jones, able to run, able to get out, throw the ball. Things are looking good for the Wildcats early here on
Santos,
homecoming night.
Back to kick. Ball's down, kicks up. It's good. And South Summit converts again on the extra point. This time they decide to go boring and kick as opposed to the exciting 2-pointer they did last time. But efficient nonetheless. It's a 22-point lead for South Summit just 17 seconds into this second quarter. And not the start the Bears want, definitely a start the Wildcats want, as they're out to a big 3-possession lead.
And we want to kind of, while we have a break here between the action, I want to give some credit to some of the things that go, or the people that are behind the scenes for this incredible program, the South Summit football program. Of course, the head coach, Jerry Parker. His assistants are John Angel, Dave Butterfield, Dan Eckert, and Denny Eckert, Virgil Johnson, Glenn Jones, Ryan Rockhill, and Aaron Tillett, as well as some of the staff that helps with the program, the athletic trainer who does a great job for all the athletics here at South Summit, Dinah Farr. She's about up here at the high school every night at a different event. Does a good job throughout the year. Our managers for the football team, Braun Butterfield, Cody Worthen, Brian Fowers, and Brennan Angel. And we want to give credit to the filmers here. I've been getting a lot of good reports of how good our filmers and how things have looked on the TV, at the broadcast. Our filmers tonight, we've got Jeffrey Irose and Cole Sweat, as well as Brennan G. running the box and producing things tonight. So they do a great job every week, and we're glad you guys tune in and check it out.
Harley Georgie this time booms one. It must have been a little of the wind, because this time it sails out the back of the end zone. Georgie will prevent any kind of return there, and they'll bring it out to the 20, and that may be one of the challenges this kickoff team has had, is they haven't had many chances to actually have to tackle, where they've gotten some practice this time and maybe showed some things that they need to work on. This time they won't get a chance as Georgie boots it deep. It'll be 1st and 10 at the 20.
Yeah, and that's one thing you've got to be careful of. You make sure to take care of business on special teams when you get against a good team that it's going to come down to a play or two here. You certainly don't want your special teams to be giving up any big plays or scores. So hopefully they can tighten that up a little bit and not give up any more big plays that way.
All right, Summit Academy down 22, desperately needs to get something going offensively. Send a man in motion to the right. Hines is going to pitch to the right, and he's going to have to cut it back, and he's hit hard by 2 defenders from South Summit. Thornton, first one there, as well as I think Ty Clegg.
I think it was Ty Clegg.
71 and 35, met him right as he got the pitch, tried to cut it back, and gets hammered. He'll lose 4.
Yeah, that was a great job. There was 4 defenders there right as the ball was pitched, and initially it looked like he may have had some room, but they closed fast and lost several yards as he was hit trying to cut back to the inside. Had nowhere to go.
So 2nd and 13 or 14, ball at about the 17-yard line for Summit Academy. And 11:02 left in this second quarter. Hines from the shotgun. He fakes a handoff. He's trying to throw right, getting chased. He's going to throw this one out of bounds. Saves the yardage on the loss. It'll bring up 3rd and 14.
As we said, they're running the kind of that spread option. He gave the fake, looked downfield, good coverage downfield by the Wildcats. Our defensive backfield, we've got Quinn Zimmerman on the right side. Bracken Sanos was the safety there. They're going to bring in another safety, Stephen Flinders. And then we've got Jordan McNair playing the left cornerback position for the Wildcats. And they've done a great job all season long, several interceptions throughout the year. And they've been in the right spots at the right time. only time a real breakdown was last week against Beaver. Their only touchdown was on a long pass. But other than that, South Summit's been solid in the defensive backfield.
Hines surveying the defense. He's got a man to the left. It's a little bit of a quick snap. Hines now is going to scramble. He's going to run off the right-hand side. A flag flies. He's stood up there by Jordan McNair. Wow. Also being drugged down from behind by, is that Fees? Nope, that's Braden Crystal helping out as well. Nice there stop by a couple of Wildcats.
And that's a heck of a job there. Jordan McNair coming up, not being afraid. He's laying the wood to the big quarterback and stuck it to him. His helmet even came off, so he's got to come out for a play. And looks like they're going to put in number 11 for the Wildcats.
So 4th and long for the Bears, about 4th and 11. He picked up a couple, but it's going to be a long punting situation. And Isaac Tillett and Keaton Gines, both back speedy guys for the Wildcats. Almost identical looking players. You could switch numbers. I don't know if you'd tell the difference from up here. Both quick, both shifty, and do a great job on these returns. We'll see if one of them can get some open room. As Hines is going to punt this one. It's a high short kick. They're not going to get a chance to return this one. It hits at the 40. Takes a Summit Academy bounce. Bounces about 4 or 5 yards ahead. South Summit will take over in Summit Academy territory at the 44.
So another good opportunity, good field position for the Wildcats provided by their defense. And South Summit's going to look to extend that lead.
3 consecutive possessions South Summit has started in Summit Academy territory. This one out to the 44, whereas the first 2 have been at the 24 and about the 35. So a little further to go, but still less than half a field for South Summit, as their defense is giving this offense lots of opportunities to score often and score early. Colby Avert's going to get good yardage as he lunges forward for about 6 out to the 39-yard line, 38-yard line. It'll be up 2nd and 4.
And you can see the interior defense of Summit Academy breaking down a little bit more. They were a little bit stringent at the beginning of the game, not giving up that inside run, but now things start getting away a little bit as they start wearing down. And as we said, South Summit's defense done a great job all year long.
So Jones now. He's got 2 wide to the right. He's going to look right, and he's got a man. It's out open. He's just going to overthrow the intended receiver. That's Ethan, or who is that? Is that Caden Christensen?
Looks like number 5, Caden Christensen.
Caden Christensen just went on a straight fly route right from that right-hand slot position, and they overthrow him a bit. He had a couple of steps.
It would have been a tough pass to get there, as you said. Not a lot of steps, but he was somewhat open, and Ty Jones definitely got out on his front foot that time and got plenty of air on that ball, overthrew his man.
He hasn't been lacking any arm strength tonight, as that arm's feeling good on a beautiful fall night for football, and South Summit taking advantage of some nice conditions. And they'll hand off up to Averett. Averett's dragging people again. He's across the first down marker to the 32-yard line. He'll pick up 5. It'll be 1st and 10, South Summit.
South Summit's defense have only given up 21 points on the season, and they've been able to score very efficiently. 44 points, 13 points, 49 points, and 37 points. And a lot of those points coming off of opportunities provided by their defense.
So 1st and 10. Clock moving at 9:13, second quarter. South Summit up 22-zip. Little quick pass out right to
Jordan McNair.
He's going to pick up 7 or 8 on another nice ball from Jones to number 24, the senior McNair. Part of our homecoming royalty tonight, but looks like I see some yellow on the field, and it's downfield, so we'll see what that is.
Typically it's a hold, block in the back or a hold right there.
So holding on South Summit. We'll see where they'll spot it from. That'll move South Summit back.
It's a spot foul, so the foul was downfield, so they'll march at 10 from where the hold was, so it won't be a huge loss other than the take away the yardage that was gained, but it's a lot better than if it was in the backfield.
So they'll march it back 10 and get it back to the 36-yard line, where it'll be now 1st and 13 for South Summit. Kind of an unusual spot for South Summit. 1st and 13 doesn't happen a lot, but here they go. Jones is going to keep it, and he's got some room. Is going to continue with a stumble. keep his feet out to the 25-yard line. He's going to pick up about right where they ended up the previous play. He'll pick up about 10 or 11. It'll move it out to the 25.
There's another flag on the play. Didn't notice it till things cleared out, but it's another flag kind of in the same area where another holding may have been called. No, personal foul, face mask. All right.
Mask. So we'll add 15 on the end of that. We'll get another first down. We'll be inside the red zone, and once again with a great opportunity to see who gets a chance to score this time. A South Summit going to a lot of people early from the air and on the ground.
And I like to see that, as you talked about. There's been a lot more distribution of the ball to the other players on the team, and we're seeing some other weapons that South Summit has. Jordan McNair's had a couple of nice catches tonight. And we've got, other weapons, other plays that they can go as teams are going to start keying off Colby Abrett and off of Carson Freestone and Ty Jones. They're going to start trying to shut them down. So it's good to see that South Summit has some options to go to if teams try to shut those other players down.
Ball at the 14. In motion goes Tillett. Ball's on the ground. Jones picks it up. Now he's trying to get to the corner, and he's going to pick up a couple, but he's hit hard. Not much of a gain, but did a good job of cleaning up a bit of a mess in that backfield as the ball dropped onto the turf. Loose for a moment. He picks it up, and he'll maybe pick up a yard. Nope, he's going to lose a little.
We'll bring about a half a yard.
Yeah, second and 10.5.
So South Summit again inside of red zone territory.
Out wide to the right. Stephen Flinders. Wide to the left is number 10, Santos, and this time they pitch to Tillett. Tillett's trying to find a seam. He's going to, he's real close. Touchdown, Isaac Tillett from about 14 yards out. And once again, another South Summit man's going to score for the fourth touchdown of this first half. And these cannons are fun, as that's the fourth time. I hope they brought enough firepower, as we're putting up a lot of points. 28 now in this second quarter, 7:53 left.
And you see another weapon South Summit has, as we talked about, Isaac Tillett and Keaton Gines, both speedsters. And this time it was Isaac Tillett's number called. They'll bring in another lineman, runs in.
That was Hunter Angel hustling in.
Bracken Santos setting up for another extra point.
Snap is back, it's down. Santos' kick is up and good. And Santos now 3 for 3, actually 4 for 4 with the 2-point conversion he threw. 3 extra point kicks, 2-point extra point on the short pass on the fake. And South Summit doing basically what they want. 29-0 lead here in this second quarter. 7:53 left. We'll take a break. South Summit leading big. Georgie off to kick again, 7:53 in this second quarter. And Georgie getting a chance to kick for the 5th time in this ball game already. And see what he does with this ball. It wouldn't even hurt to have another chance at covering. Good job. There it is. Nice high kick from Georgie, but it's taken right at the 10-yard line. Bobbles up for a second. Now the South Summit kickoff crew does a good job, and they'll hold him right at about the 20-yard line. And like tackled there by
27. Was it 27 that went in?
27 looked like Porter Fitzgerald possibly was involved as well. So South Summit defense out again. Made it real easy for this offense, South Summit. They've scored a lot, but they haven't had to put up a lot of yardage just because they haven't had to work with much of a field with Summit Academy turning over several of the early possessions they've had, and they'll try again now. Almost would be better off here if they went to a few runs, and there it is. Nothing there as he's driven back.
Met early there by C.J. Deneno, our tackle on the inside. They ran, looked like they tried to run a counter play to see if they could catch South Summit off guard, but our D tackles were right there on the spot. C.J. Deneno and I believe Braden Crystal on the inside. Nope, number 55 for the Wildcats. Brad Richens actually is inside there right now. Oh, no, who is that on the other side? Brad Richens is our left tackle, right side tackle.
That's Victor Thornton. He's always got those.
Well, he's our D end on that right side. Yeah.
That's 55. That's, looks like.
It's got to be Braden Crystal.
65.
65.
Or it might be Fees. All right, handoff. There's a little running room for the Summit Academy back as he picks up about 8 or 9 yards. It was 2nd and 12. He gets the handoff. Goes on the left tackle side. He'll pick up 9 or 10. It'll bring up 3rd and manageable about 4.
Nathan McKay on the draw play for Summit Academy, one of the more effective run plays for Summit Academy tonight as he picks up almost 8 yards on the draw.
So, little short 3rd and 3 for Summit Academy. They need nothing better here than a first down. And they're going to hand off on the right side, and they're not going to get it. He's hit by several defenders from South Summit. Finished up there finally by Santos, but he was held up by several interior men by South Summit, and Bracken Santos got a nice shot to drive him back. It'll bring up, he'll lose 3 or 4. It'll bring 4th and 6.
So Isaac Tillett and Keaton Gines once again back deep for the Wildcats, and they're just hoping they can get them a chance to return. I know they want to try to show their speed. They'll see if Summit Academy can get it there. It looks like they're almost lined up now. Of course, they're going to shift back into punt formation.
So Hines will punt for the Bears. He angles it off to the left side, and unable to secure it there is Tillett as it'll bounce all the way to the 40. And we'll probably hope to try to get a South Summit man up to catch that thing in the air and not let it bounce. He's unable to get there as it was quite short. But South Summit nonetheless will take over, this time in their own territory, right at the 40-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 with 5:27 left.
That's one thing that's kind of changed for our punt return team. I think early in the season, our punt returners took a lot more risk as they would go up and try to field things on a bounce, try to do too much, and they've been coached up a little bit. If it's going to bounce, just get out of the way and let things happen because our offense has done such a good job. Don't want to take any risk of having a turnover off of his special teams.
So Jones will hand off, and Averett's got good yardage up the middle. He's got one man to beat. He beat him, and he's going to go all the way for 60 yards. Colby Averett all the way through. Not only has got the strength, but he's got the speed to break one. And Colby Averett goes 60 with 5:15 left. One offensive play, and it's 35-0 and getting ugly quickly.
The cannons roar once again for the Wildcats, and a nice stiff arm there. Colby Averett on the safety had no chance as he just throws him off. Get off of me. I'm running this thing in for 60 yards. And another score for Colby Averett tonight. So 35-0, as you said. It's getting ugly quick, and it's looking great for the Wildcats.
Bracken Santos, extra point, up and good again.
Bracken Santos has done a great job for the Wildcats this year. About halfway through the season, he was thrown in there to just try it as South Summit was trying to find themselves a place kicker, a field goal kicker, PAT kicker, whatever you want to call him. And they found one in Bracken Santos. He's been very efficient each week. I think I can only recall one time this season where he's had a PAT opportunity that he missed. And he's 5 for 5 tonight.
So in high school, is it just in
35.
The second half?
No, it's 35.
All right,
I think it's
we're in the...
Maybe it's just second half. I think that's maybe what they're discussing right now. Do you start running the clock in the first half? Or typically 35-0 is when they have that mercy rule and it's a running clock, and we'll see what they do here.
So once again, kicking off for South Summit, leading 36-0. as I believe South Summit has scored on every offensive possession. They've had it ball 5 times. They've scored 5 times. And they've looked sharp doing it each time. Summit Academy now reeling a bit on what to do, as not much they can do on either side of this ball, and South Summit at some point is going to have to call off the dogs, or
I'm sure that a lot of the younger players are going to get plenty of time, especially in the second half.
Georgie boots this one. There's going to be no return on this one. It'll sell out of the back of the end zone. 1st and 10, Summit Academy at the 20. 5:15 left.
We'll do our best as they get some of these younger players into the ball game to make sure we get names out. I think we've got an updated roster. I know last week we got a little bit of trouble with the Clegg family. They had a no name listed for number 61. It turns out it was Jackson Clegg. He came up a couple of times and made some plays defensively and didn't get the credit because we didn't know who he was. The whole Clegg family yelling at the TV, "That's Jackson, that's Jackson." So this week, if Jackson gets in, we'll be sure to let you know.
All right, Hines dropping back. He's got a man out wide. This time it's caught. Nice pass from Hines. Ball's on the ground. They're going to say it was down, as the referee says he caught it, was hit, went to the ground, ball came out. Receiver was number 3, Joe Denos, and he's going to pick up 7, and it'll be 2nd and 3.
That's been the most effective play all night for the Summit Academy, that little comeback play. They usually can pick up 8 yards, 7-8 yards a pop when they do that, so they've been able to do that effectively throughout the night.
2nd and 3. Hines in the shotgun still. Got 2 to the left, 1 to the right. 2 backs to help him. He's got a little time this time. Delivers a nice ball, but he comes up from behind. Flinders on the interception. He's trying to find some room. Flinders out to the 30. And now he's going to cut it back, and he's got blockers. Stephen Flinders is going to go the whole way, but flags are down. Stephen Flinders cuts it back and sets up a whole wall of blockers, but it looks like somebody's going to get a block in the back probably.
And it looks like Carson Freestone lost the helmet, and he's the one throwing his hands in the air like somebody took his helmet off.
Maybe
and
that's the call.
We're hoping for Stephen Flinders' sake, because that was an impressive return. He goes all the way across the field and then cuts back the other way and had nobody left. So we'll see what they call here and see if that stands. And I know Stephen Flinders would love to see that one go in the books, as it was about a 50-yard return after the interception. The quarterback had a man there, but he did not account for Stephen Flinders just sitting and waiting. Flinders had a good jump, read the quarterback's eyes, and stepped in front, and then took care of business the other way.
So that is going to be the penalty.
Did they call 2 of them? He gestured this way, so I don't know. He didn't call another one, but.
All right, so it looks like they're going to give him the touchdown. Personal foul on Summit Academy. Freestone came out upset, didn't have a helmet on, like maybe somebody assisted in that helmet coming off from Summit Academy. At any rate, it's a 42-0 lead. 4:09 left, second quarter. Santos out to kick again as the ball's down. He'll get the kick up. It's going to be good, and it's 43-zip with 4 minutes left in this second quarter. And South Summit scoring very quickly. Now this time scoring on the defensive end. We'll take a break. South Summit up big in this second quarter. 4:09 left, second quarter. One heck of a long halftime here as we've done a lot of extra points, a lot of kickoffs. 6 touchdown on the night. It's a 43-0 lead. They're going to march the personal foul off on the kickoff, so we'll go from the 40 instead of kicking out to the Summit Academy 45. Harley can split the uprights from here if he'd like. We'll see if he decides to kick it out to the red part of the track or if he tries to pooch it up high. Might be interesting here. I know there's some rule that if you free kick one, you can score some points, but I don't remember all the dynamics of how it works. At any rate, he's getting some instruction there from Coach Eckert, special teams coach, on what to do here.
Maybe he'll tell him to squib it, or I'm not sure what they've got planned.
It would probably really fire things up if he just dribbled one.
Onside kick it.
Probably not a great idea at this point.
Get a rivalry started for us in the Summit Academy Bears.
And he's going to kick it up through the uprights. It's good?
Give us 3 points.
From the 45, Harley boots it through the uprights. You got to keep that in mind. If you were kicking from the 45 on a field goal.
It's a 55-yard field goal.
That's a big field goal, and he cleared it by 15 yards.
And it makes you wonder why more field goal kickers don't get a run at it like that, because you can obviously get a little more power when you need that extra power.
So probably a wise idea there just to put it at the 20. And now it'll be Summit Academy trying to get something going.
It doesn't look like they've got the running clock rule, as it probably just applies, like you said, maybe to the second half only.
Hines now is going to pitch right and trying to find some room, and he's going to be hit there by Santos and Thornton.
Thornton, yep.
On the play, he'll pick up maybe a yard where it'll bring second 9.
Nathan McKay for Summit Academy running the ball. Didn't really picked up, it looks like a yard. They're going to give him a yard. It'll be 2nd and 9 for Summit Academy.
So Denano, Thornton, Fees, and Clegg up front for the Wildcats.
You got Colby Averett and Hunter Angel, the inside linebackers. Dax Hansen and
Caden Christensen, the
your outside linebackers.
Santos, Flinders, McNair in the back or in the secondary. Handoff, and he's met again. No running room, as he's going to lose about a yard. Tries to go left this time, and will bring up 3rd and long. 3:49, clock still rolling. And so Summit Academy's got to be getting frustrated as they're unable to move the ball on the running side rarely, and with the pressure South Summit puts in any kind of passing situation, not a lot of options here for the Bears. See what they do on 3rd and 9. He's going to fake, got a little slant route, nice pass. Just behind him, though. Good route there by number 3 as he had a little lane. Unable to convert. It'll bring up 4th and 9. Summit Academy will be forced to punt again.
Joe Dennis on the intended receiver for Summit Academy. As you said, it was a good route. Just thrown behind him. Would have been able to be enough to pick up a 1st down. But that'll force another kick. And again,
Gines and Tillett back for the Wildcats. See if they don't move up about 5-10 yards.
They're being instructed to move up right now.
Need to get one here in the air. And we'll see if they get a chance. They'll get a chance on this one. Tillett.
I'm not sure why he didn't go up and at least fair catch that thing, but
it bounces 4 or 5 yards into South Summit territory at about the 47. It'll be 1st and 10, South Summit.
So here's an opportunity here for South Summit in the first half to really go deep into the playbook and try some things that you normally wouldn't do. See what can be effective for you so that you can utilize it later on when you may need it. And we'll see if they open things up a little bit or if they stay conservative and just stick to what has been working for them so far.
Looks like they've put Caden Christensen in at quarterback for the Wildcats. And he's going to hand off. Nope, he's going to keep it following a block from Averett. He gets out to about just across the 50-yard line where it'll be up now 2nd and 7.
So we'll try to keep track if new players get in there and make sure we get their names out so those of you at home can cheer on some new players that are going to get in here. Most likely a lot of that will start happening in the second half, but we'll keep you up to date as to some of the new numbers that come in for the Wildcats. Keaton Gines, Jordan McNair split out wide to the left here.
Christensen fakes pitch right. He's looking left. He's got a man, and it looks like it's going to fall incomplete. Good opportunity, or good play there by McNair. Tried to go down low to get that ball. He's unable to corral it, and it'll bring up now 3rd and 7.
South Summit trying their own comeback pattern. So he breaks back to the outside of the sideline. The ball was just a little bit underthrown, and that's kind of how you want to throw that ball. You want to throw it low into the outside, so the only one that has a chance. Looks like we had an illegal shift against the Wildcats that Summit Academy is going to decline on the previous play. That'll bring up 3rd down. First chance here for Summit Academy to stop South Summit. As you said, they've not yet punted. They've scored on every possession of this first half. So they face a 3rd and their longest 3rd down so far this evening.
Christensen now getting a chance to quarterback, and he'll pitch over to Giants. Ball's knocked out. It's loose, and Summit Academy picks it up and trying to get some running room. He's still on his feet, and the ball's going to go out to the 26-7 yard line as a bit of a errant pitch. Goes over Keaton Gines. It'll be a turnover from South Summit over to Summit Academy, and Summit Academy finally gets a break in this ball game. 2:25 left. They'll take over in South Summit territory.
The first turnover for the Wildcats tonight is Keaton Gines unable to handle the pitch. A little bit behind him. He didn't look like he had a whole lot of room. There was a man right there waiting. He'd have had to make a pretty good move to get around him, but it would have been much better to get the catch and obviously to retain possession. But now South Summit's defense with their back against the wall a little bit here against Summit Academy. Sure, they're going to want to hold on to that shutout as long as they can.
So Hines, 1st and 10 at the South Summit 27. He's rolling right. He's going to throw back left on a little screen pass, and it's going to be a forward pass, but not by much. It'll fall incomplete. It'll bring up 2nd and 10.
A little bit of a skip there, and sometimes a trick play that teams will sometimes use is they'll skip one across the ground like that, and if it's a lateral, the guy receiving the ball can actually pick it up and run with it, and sometimes if a defense sees it skip across the ground, they automatically shut down. That one was not a lateral, so it wasn't a live ball, but if that had been a lateral pass, it would have been live. He could have picked it up and run with it or thrown it even.
2nd and 10, 2:20 left in this half. Ball at the 27-yard line of South Summit. Hines taking his time, getting his offense set. He gets the snap. He's looking to pass. Little quick route, and it's hit hard by Santos right at the time of contact. And the Summit Academy players shaken up a little bit as Santos broke hard and hit him just as the ball came in. Might have got him in the ribs or something as he's down hard.
He was extended that pass. Sometimes you obviously don't want to get that pass too high up in the air because that exposes the receiver. And he was hit hard. A good clean hit there by Bracken Santos. Nothing illegal or no intent there. But he got his arms up extended trying to catch that pass, and it looked like he took a shoulder pad right to the ribs as he continues to stay down. Hopefully he's okay, and maybe the wind just got knocked out of him. That brings up a 3rd and 10 now for Summit Academy.
We'll take a break while the Summit Academy player's down, and hopefully he'll be okay. 2:13 left. South Summit leading 43-0. Number 3 for Summit Academy was the injured player. That's Denos.
Yep, Joe Denos.
Looks like he was able to shake it off a little bit, and hopefully he'll be okay as he helped himself off the field. It'll bring up 3rd and 10 for Summit Academy. Ball still at the 27-yard line. 2:13 left. Hines looking to pass. Flags fly. They blow it dead. And must have had somebody moving initially. Offsides on South Summit. South Summit guy getting across too early.
So that'll pick up 5 yards. It'll be a little more manageable for Summit Academy as now they are getting closer to red zone territory.
So just 5 yards instead of 10 to pick up. 3rd and 5. Now ball at about the 22, 23-yard line. And probably, if they wanted to get technical, have to put 2 seconds back on the clock, but
I'm not sure they're going to worry too
won't
much
worry
about
it
right
too
here.
much today. 2:11 left now. Hines trying to get Summit Academy on the board. He's dropping back. Comes into a little slant route, broken up, probably should have been caught. Would have been close to the first down. Summit Academy receiver unable to bring it in. They'll bring up 4th now and 5.
Carson Freestone on the coverage there for the Wildcats. He was right there. It was good coverage. It falls incomplete, brings up 4th down. Summit Academy looks like they're going to try to pick up some points as they're going to bring out the field goal unit. See what kind of leg here their kicker has. We've not yet seen it tonight, as they haven't even kicked the ball yet tonight other than the punts.
About a 40-yard field goal as Summit Academy gets the ball off. I don't know how. Does it have enough? Not quite enough
Not
leg.
quite enough, but he was hit. There was flags flying, so this may continue the drive here. South Summit had a lot of pressure up the middle. Looked like they almost got a hand on the block, but it didn't look like they got it, and then they ran into the kicker. So they're going to call roughing the kicker, which will pick up a 1st down, and the Bears will keep the ball and keep the opportunity to score alive here with just over 2 minutes and a half remaining.
So we'll move the ball up inside the 20 now. And Summit Academy still hoping here for some points in this first half.
They'll go. It looks like they'll probably go half the distance to the goal on the penalty. Yeah,
moving it all the way up to
outside the 10-yard line.
About the 12-yard line, 1st and 10. Still can pick up a 1st down before they score. To get to that point, we'll put them down about the 2-3-yard line. So Hines, desperate here for some points, and the Bears, they hand off up the middle. Good room this time. So he's going to pick up 4 or 5 yards. It'll bring up now 2nd and 6 at about the 8-yard line.
So they continue on this drive. South Summit with their back against the wall, and they've proven that they can have these goal line stands. They've had their back against the wall a few times this year and been able to come out on the right side of it as they've stopped teams in the past. So we'll see if they can hold here and keep the goose egg going.
Looks like Denos was the ball carrier last time. It looks like he's back in after being shaken up a little bit, so maybe he just had the wind knocked out of him, hopefully. And now a pitch to the right. And got a little room again, Summit Academy. Nope.
Not a lot of room,
quickly.
nope.
Not much room. Looks like he'll actually lose a half a yard. He'll bring up 3rd and 8.
And that's great technique there by Brad Richens on this side of the defensive end position. He keeps his outside shoulder free. He keeps going upfield, and he's able to turn that sweep inside because he's got help coming from the inside out. Exactly what you're supposed to do as a defensive end. Keep contained and force him back to the inside, where he was shut down quickly there, only picking up a couple of yards. Well, not even anything, as they picked up the yards the play before.
43 seconds and counting, as Summit Academy would probably like nothing better than to score here, as time will run out in this half. He's looking to pass. This time he's going to tuck it, and he's got room. This time Hines will find the end zone. Good job by Hines as he looked left. Nobody was there. A seam opened up right, and no defender for South Summit left on the right side of the field. For Hines, he scampers in from about 9-10 yards, and Summit Academy gets on the scoreboard, 6 points.
South Summit must have been in a cover one situation. Every guy was locked up on a man. And what happens when you do that is if the quarterback gets out into the open field, nobody really sees him as they're locked on their men, and that's what happened there. Found a seam, and nobody was outside once he broke the pocket.
So Summit Academy will get their first chance to kick the extra point. Ball's up and looks good.
We're going to call
Flags
it
in,
dead.
though.
I'm not sure if we're offsides again or if what happened.
And there have been a lot of penalties this half.
Yeah,
Offsides on South Summit, so move it up half the distance. They can try it now from the 1.5.
So South Summit a little bit sloppy on this possession. As the personal foul kept the drive alive, they stopped him, and the field goal was short, but it kept it alive with the roughing the kicker. And now they'll get another chance here to kick the extra point.
27 seconds left. Once again, the kick is up, and it's no good. Look good here. Must have sailed a hair right. And at any rate, Summit Academy gets on the scoreboard with a touchdown. 27 seconds left. It's a 43-6 lead for the Wildcats. And we'll have maybe a play or two left before halftime comes. We got some good halftime events planned for you today, as it's a bit of an extended halftime where we'll announce some homecoming royalty, and we'll have some halftime entertainment by our drill team and cheerleaders. So I think it's about an 18-minute.
And you're going to want to stay tuned, as we're going to have a little bit of a technical upgrade this week, as you're going to be able to get live feed and live audio here. You'll hear the music when the drill team dances. You'll be able to hear the local PA announcer here. And so you'll be able to hear a little bit more what goes on here at halftime. So stay tuned at halftime for some entertainment.
27 seconds left. Summit Academy kicking off to the Wildcats for the first time this evening. Kicker for the Bears is number 2. Is that 2?
2 or 9. I can't really tell who that is, what that is yet.
At any rate, kicking off for the Bears. And nice, deep, high, good-looking kick. It's going to be taken and hits the ground as Tillett got a chance now, as he's got some speed up the sideline. He's going to be taken out of bounds.
That was Keaton Gines on the return.
Is that Gines?
That was Keaton.
Gines, right at the 46-yard line. So good return there by Gines. And South Summit will have 19 seconds to determine what they want to do here on this offensive possession.
So as we said, that's one of the things that South Summit doesn't do a lot of, kickoff returns. They get 1 or 2 a ball game is all. As you got to give up points before you can get kickoff returns, and South Summit has not done that very often this season, only giving up now 27 points on the season.
Jones back into play for quarterback for South Summit. He's got time to throw, but unable to find the intended receiver, Tillett, as he was covered there pretty tightly by the Summit Academy linebacker.
Nathan McKay on the coverage. A nice job there, and I don't know that it would have been, it was a pretty good job just throwing the ball where our guy may have been able to get it, as he was covered tightly there by number 7, Nathan McKay.
So bring up 2nd and 10. Ball's at the 46, 12 seconds left. Probably 2 plays left in this ball game unless they choose just to run the ball here and run this out. He's going to throw again. Trying to go deep, trying to go to McNair, and McNair somehow comes down with it, and McNair is going to go 44 yards. I don't know how he came up with it, as he jumped over top of the Summit Academy defender, grabbed it somehow, and he goes the distance, and South Summit will put up 50 now and at 49.
That was an incredible catch, one of those things that you'd see on the highlight reel on ESPN. As he had to go over top of the defender, like you said. He ripped it away from him, almost taking his helmet with him, and then made the move inside to score to give South Summit another 6 points before half.
They'll hit the century mark if Santos can convert on this extra point.
We're on a century mark rate anyways. We're only about to a half century.
I mean half century.
We are in the pace to get a century.
Half century.
But I'm not sure Coach Parker is going to allow the South Summit Wildcats to get 100 points, as he'll probably gear it down in the second half and give some of the younger players a chance to get in there and perform for your entertainment in the second half.
It's a 50-6 lead for the Wildcats, and unfortunately that play didn't take 2 more seconds. The South Summit's going to have to kick the ball off again.
We'll see if Harley Georgie can put it into the end zone once again, as he's been effective going this way anyways.
Might not even hurt the squibbling right here with 2 seconds.
Yeah, the kickoff return team of Summit Academy has been their most effective and best play of the night, as they've gained up 35, 40 yards just about every time they had a return, especially the first couple of returns. So we'll see what they decide to do here.
So Jordan McNair with a 44-yard pass play from Jones, and Jones has had some good passing numbers tonight, as some good receivers have made some nice catches.
Yeah, it's great to, like we said, it's great to see some other weapons that South Summit's that's kind of emerging here in about mid-season now, starting to come come out and seeing some of the other options that South Summit has if they need to go to them. Jones throwing some good balls tonight.
Georgie will kick off again. 2.6 left. See if he squibs it. No, he hits it line or somebody touched that thing. Nope, it goes through the back of the end zone. Bounces short. Didn't want a piece of a little one-hopper line driving right at him, and it goes out the back of the end zone. 1st and 10 at the 20 for the Summit Bears.
So we'll see if they try to throw something deep down or they'll just take a knee and go and lick their wounds at half and see if they can come up with some answers for the second half. As you said, Cody talked about having some extra entertainment at halftime tonight as we celebrate 100 years of South Summit education. This anniversary, 100 years, 1913, South Summit decided to start their own school district. It looks like that's what they'll do is the quarterback will run, and he's got some room up the sideline. He's going to run it. Best run of the play, probably the most effective. Gained the most yards of the night for Summit Academy, but that will end the half. So the Wildcats going in after a dominant first half performance tonight. They lead 50-6.
Stay tuned as we'll be switching sound here a little bit to give you a good halftime shot. So 50-6 lead. 20-minute half they'll go to, so stay tuned for some homecoming halftime. South Summit up big as we enter halftime, 50-6.
We'd like to congratulate our homecoming royalty. These students were chosen by the entire student body to represent them in this homecoming week, and they've done a great job. They're great students and great royalty. We'd like to announce them. As we announce them, please come out to the center of the field. We'll start with the attendance. Our attendant to the Queen this year is Rachel Irose. Rachel is the daughter of Jill Irose and the late David Irose. Joining Rachel as an attendant for the King, Jordan McNair, who's the son of Sean McNair and Shari Nelson. Our other attendants. Attendant to the Queen is Kaylee Farmer. Kaylee is the daughter of Dan and Lisa Farmer. And our attendant to the King, Jack Simmons. Jack is the son of John and Amy Simmons. And now the King and Queen for the 100th anniversary homecoming 2013. Our Queen is Lauren Anderson. Lauren is the daughter of Jeff Anderson and Debbie Anderson. And our homecoming king, Zachary MacArthur. Zach is the son of Ryan and Melissa MacArthur. These homecoming royalty students join a long list of homecoming royalty stretching back for a century. Let's give them a big hand in recognition for their efforts and their great citizenship as students that allowed them to become selected as the homecoming royalty. Come on up, guys. Let's give you a big hand. Right up here, right close. We need a photo op. One more time, our homecoming royalty. Thank you, Royalty, and thank you, parents, for having such great kids. We really appreciate them here at South Summit High School. South Summit Wildcats, 100 years of conquering the summit. Thank you, parents. And thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for coming out to tonight's homecoming game. We'll give Lauren just a moment to get ready because she's going to join the other Flavines. As the drill team, the Flavines, perform for halftime tonight. I don't know if you appreciate hip-hop dancing, but if you don't, something's wrong with you. Great dance, girls. That was incredible. That dance, by the way, was choreographed by Sage Boyce and Haley Nilsson. Tonight, our South Summit cheerleaders are going to lead us in our fight song, so stand up, join our cheerleaders and the South Summit Band. you, cheerleaders. Our fight song led this time by our other seniors, Alex Crandall and Rachel Iros. We appreciate the senior leadership of our cheerleaders. What a great squad. And now, special for homecoming. That was quick, drill team. Drill team and cheerleaders together for your halftime entertainment. Let's welcome them onto the field. Thank you, cheerleaders and fathers together. Nothing could be better. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We're getting set for the second half. If you haven't had a... Oh, wait. We're ready for this great song. You're getting it all tonight. I hope you get your money's worth. Now you can stand up and join our South Summit cheerleaders and our South Summit band. Under the direction of Mr. Brad Flinders. The words are on the back of your program for those of you who haven't memorized them yet after 100 years. I'd like to remind you before the second half kickoff, you have time to get to the concession stand and help our Booster Club. They help us, they help our team, so go grab something. We're just about ready for the second half. And we're ready for the second half. Let's welcome the Wildcats back on the field. All this and fireworks to boot. Again, we want to thank Niall and Kim Hansen from Wildflowers Floral. And we also want to thank Firestorm for the fireworks tonight. We're about set for the second half kickoff. Homecoming 2013.
South Summit High School and the district for that matter. So great job on all those who've worked hard to provide you a great halftime this year. Good fireworks provided by Kim and Niall Hansen and their flower business. So fun, exciting day. We'll give you some updated scores of halftime throughout the state. In the 1A or 2A North, Gunnison is leading 20-6 over ALA. Millard is beating North Summit in the third quarter 10-0. In the 2A South, Enterprise 25, South Sevier 8. Grand is leading in the third quarter over Beaver 7-6. San Juan 24, Parowan 0 with 2:30 left in the third quarter. So some interesting games throughout the state. In the crossover game this week, Layton Christian is leading North Sevier 3-0. So 2A scores. Some interesting one. That one we're looking at is Grand and Beaver, 7-6 lead for Grand. I'm anxious to see where that game was played. I want to say it was probably played in Beaver, but I'm not sure. At any rate, we have about 35 seconds left before we come up with the second half. We'll be in the clock running mode with more than a 35-point lead, so it'll be a much quicker first half, as this first half and halftime is a 2-hour. That's about as long as I've ever seen in a high school game for a first half and a halftime show.
Yeah, that's a long time.
We're usually almost finishing the game up by about 9 or a little after, and we're just getting started here on this second half.
Yeah, the second half will go quickly here tonight. And as you said, that game against Grand and Beaver, it is being played in Beaver. And it's, like you said, 7-6, so a tight ball game there. You don't want to read too much into that, but the only way we can really judge how good that Southern region is the only Southern team that we're going to end up playing this year is going to be that Beaver team, and they match up against the other Southern team that's emerging as the better teams, and it's a tight ball game. So South Summit poised again. They show that they should have that number one ranking, and they've done a good job of keeping that number one ranking and taking care of business tonight. As you said, they lead 50-6 at halftime. So we'll see what kind of adjustments were made. We'll see what kind of guys get in there in the second half for South Summit. We'll try to get as many names out for those kids that don't get it very often and get their names out to you so we can give them some credit. Good opportunity for some of these younger players to get into a varsity ball game in front of a big crowd. Good experience for them, and they obviously get a little bit nervous about it, but after a little while it's just about going out and playing football and I'm sure they'll go out there and perform as they have. The JV freshman teams have both had a very successful season thus far. I believe the entire program here at South Summit, freshman through varsity, is still undefeated on the season. No losses for any of the three teams for the South Summit Wildcats, so the future is looking good, too, for South Summit.
Kick is in the air and a yard to the 49-yard line of Summit Academy, where it'll be 2nd and 9. So it'll be interesting to see how long they go here with many of these main guys on offense. Maybe one series is my guess.
Jordan McNair bringing in the play for the Wildcats, replacing Stephen Flinders. McNair having a good night so far offensively, coming up with a couple of big catches, and, of course, the touchdown pass right at the end of the first half. 60-yard touchdown pass.
Jones will pitch this time on the reverse, and now McNair cuts it back, and he's got some room. McNair's got a chance.
He's got a
with some blocker
down
downfield, and we'll see if McNair is going to sneak in. He's not quite going to have enough, but he's going to get run out of bounds at about the 3-4 yard line. Good blocking downfield for South Summit. Nice play on a little reverse pitch, and McNair will pick up about 46, 45 yards. 1st and goal for South Summit.
Jordan McNair bringing in the play, and he must have been excited when he heard what the play was. He came in and knew it was coming to him, and he made the most of the play on the reverse. Another new play, a new wrinkle in the offense for the Wildcats. And again, as we said, Jordan McNair emerging as another offensive threat for the Wildcats tonight.
All right, trips wide to the right, trips to the left, only 3 linemen.
Another new formation for the Wildcats.
All kinds of interesting stuff here. We'll see what they do out of it. Jones is going to throw a little screen out the side. Is that a backward pass? If I was Summit Academy, I'd pick that thing up and go, and they did. And he's going to get hit out of bounds as Carson Freestone runs him out of bounds, but a backward pass fumbled out there, and Summit Academy alertly picks it up, and they'll march it back out from about the 3-yard line all the way out to the 34, 33-yard line. So turnover South Summit, Summit Academy, and we'll get the ball now on their first possession of the second half.
They tried something new there, and that play needs a little work, it looks like. And that's one of those plays that Ty Jones may just read to see which side of the defense is looking weaker, and he could have gone maybe either direction on that, I'm not sure. But that was not obviously how it was drawn up, and Summit Academy alertly picked the ball up and marched it downfield a little ways.
It's a good time to work on these kind of plays in a game that really is not going to go too terribly badly either way what happens here, but you'd like to look sharp, and it's a good chance to practice as Hines is swarmed over by 3 defenders of South Summit on the sack. We got Deneno, Fees, and is that Fees? Nope.
Yep, Riley Fees, number 53, Deneno.
And Daxton Hansen.
Daxton Hansen in on that as it looked like they were setting up some sort of screen, but they did not give that quarterback enough time to get rid of the ball.
They got there about as quickly as the ball did. Hines had nothing to be able to go on that one. He loses 4 or 5. It'll bring up 2nd and 15. And this clock, like you said, is moving quickly, which is nice. 8:10 left in this third quarter. Hines is looking to throw, and he's in some trouble again. He's just going to throw this one out of bounds. Good decision by Hines, but nobody there.
Flag. Yeah, that was one of those that there was nobody home. It was intentional grounding they're going to end up calling here.
That's a pretty tough call when you're down 44.
Yeah.
But
it's got to be called.
Rule's
that was
a rule,
obvious.
I guess.
Yep.
So 7:56. I don't know why they stopped the clock. It should be continuing to run.
Or maybe march that off, I'm not sure, but that's going to march him back. It'll also be a loss of down on the play. That'll bring up 3rd down.
And long yardage here. Move them all the way down to inside the 20 at about the 18-yard line. The first down is at the 43-yard line, so they have 3rd and 25. And long yardage. I still don't know why they haven't wound the clock. 7:56. There they start it. And, as that was setting up for a big hit as the Summit Academy guy was running. And I think that's a nice little job there on the South Summit side as he really could have lit him up. And Stephen Flinders, nice guy that he is, doesn't completely destroy that receiver who really could have had quite a collision. It falls incomplete. It'll bring up 4th now and 25.
That's one of those plays that if Stephen Flinders would have lit him up, usually ends up resulting in a personal foul, a targeting, or some sort of one of those new rules that they call to try to protect some of those defensive receivers or defenseless receivers.
All right, so Hines back to kick. And he'll get the punt up. Nice punt this time by Hines. Extending, till it back. Ball's on the ground. He dropped, able to pick it up, and now he's going to try to find some room. Good open field tackle by number 24 from Summit Academy. That's Stephen Harp. Nice player for Summit Academy. Gets a good tackle. Tillett losing the ball on the punt return, able to bring it back, and that'll be territory right at the 47-yard line.
Yeah, as he said, that bounced off his chest. It was lucky it bounced right in front of him. He was able to pick it up and gain a few yards. Yeah, fortunately nobody was there to take it after the bounce.
I think that at least in my opinion, something the South Summit Wildcats can work on a little bit is fielding some of these punts and long kickoffs so we can hopefully take advantage with some of those opportunities in the air. This time Jones, as the flag comes in behind the play, probably be something on the offensive line of the Wildcats. Jones picks up 3 or 4, but they'll probably bring that one back. We'll see what the call is.
It's like some of our South Summit players are slow to get up. Looks like Jordan McNair and Ty Jones may have got their legs tied up over on that side of the field as they're slow to get up, and you'd hate to see either of those players go down as they've both had a great game tonight. So hopefully it's nothing serious here, as both players are still down on the ground for the Wildcats.
Yeah, certainly don't want either one of them hurt, and that may be the number one reason maybe to get some guys out, is you don't want anybody hurt. It's probably time.
People out of the game, but
all right, we're going to take a little. Yeah, go ahead.
That's always a coach's call. It's tough to make a call like that. It's still pretty early in the ball game, second half, really. It's tough to make a call. You want to give those guys their reps and keep their conditioning up, but don't want to get anybody hurt. It looks like they're both up now, and they're walking gingerly. We'll see, like you said, what Coach Parker decides to do here. Ty Jones, he's had a bit of a nagging injury with that ankle of his. That first game, sprained that left ankle in the first game of the season. It looks like it's just going to be one of those nagging things he's going to have to play through. It's like that's kind of, he's favoring that left leg a little bit coming off the field.
So two of the big offensive weapons for South Summit moving over awful gingerly, both carrying a little limp, and hopefully they'll be okay.
Doesn't look like they're looking at him too intensely, so hopefully, like I said, just tweaked an ankle or something.
Might have even bumped or something.
Yeah,
hit
knocked knees
knocked
or
thighs
something.
or who knows what. Caden Christensen back in, the quarterback for the Wildcats. They'll hand off to Averett. Averett with 3 or 4 good hard yards. And another penalty comes flying in. This one looks like it come from the sideline.
So, and I don't know if they're just trying to keep these players protected here, or they're giving a sideline warning here. Not sure what was said, or if the players are sneaking out a little bit. So they're trying to keep that sideline cleared, and they're pretty, like we've talked about before, they're pretty sensitive to that call. They'll give that sideline warning. South Summit got it last week, too, against Beaver. So they usually will assign a backup coach, and all his job is to go up and down the sidelines and yell back up to keep the players from creeping up too close to the sideline.
I guess I don't understand what the 35-point rule is about running the clock, because we keep stopping it.
Yeah, it should just keep
That's
running
supposed to
regardless.
Just roll on everything but a score is what my understanding was. But
regardless.
5:57 left. And it'll still march. I think they have to maybe stop it on an injury, but I don't think it's on penalties. And they keep doing it. At any rate, handoff off the side, and there's another penalty.
Good.
Penalties. And hopefully we can keep things moving here regardless of who's in the ball game. Ty Jones, as we said, getting a little break on the sideline, as well as Jordan McNair. And probably sent a little scare to not only the coaching staff, but a lot of people in these stands going, oh, that's the last thing we need in a ball game like this, is to get some kids hurt. So hopefully we can get out of this game unscathed without any injuries, and hopefully all goes well. 5:07 and still rolling.
Ethan Miles checking in for the first time tonight for the Wildcats. Number 1, a junior wide receiver.
Probably ought to go over these offensive linemen who continually do a great job for this Wildcat offense. Christensen, nice pass over, deep pass, about a 13-yard pass up to Bracken Santos.
Pick up the first down, so
out to the 36, about a 13-yard pickup, first down, South Summit.
Overcoming a couple of penalties there. A nice pass and catch for the Wildcats there, Caden Christensen, and it looks like, I mean, that's another thing, that a luxury that South Summit has this year is they're deep at that quarterback position. A lot of experience with Caden Christensen last year, playing a lot of varsity for the Wildcats, so we've got some people that can back up if something were to happen.
So Caden Christensen now with 4:13 and counting. And he's going to keep the ball and nowhere to go, as he looked like he was supposed to have a pitch man, couldn't find one. He decides to dive forward, try to save any negative yardage. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be 2nd and 10.
And that timing was off. It didn't look like there was a good pitch relationship. Carson Freestone coming around and was not there for the pitch. Looked like he was trying to set up to pitch it and realized nobody was there. Just doing a good job getting back to the line of scrimmage.
All right, let's try to pick out these offensive linemen. I know Ty Clegg there is at the center. Braden Crystal's the left guard. It looks like Riley Allen, left tackle. They'll go on a counter to Carson Freestone. Good blocking up front. Carson Freestone's got a chance, and he's going to be driven out of bounds. Good yardage for Freestone. He's out of bounds at around the 16-17. Needed about 3 or 4 more steps to get that corner, and it'll be 1st and 10, South Summit.
Got run out of bounds. As you said, with the last guy there, it looks like Hunter Angel coming in to relieve one of these players.
What lineman's that? Is that Feed? No, that's Brad Richens?
That's Riley Fees, 53.
All right. And Christensen on a little fade route. Oh, right through the hands of Daxton Hansen. Hanston had him a touchdown. Unfortunately, unable to bring it down as Caden Christensen laid up a nice ball. Hansen had to spin just a hair, but hit him right in the hands. He'd love to have that one back. It'll bring up 2nd and 10.
Yeah, he was wide open, and it looked like they were running kind of an option pass there, running down the line like he's running that option, and he just let the ball go.
Try this formation again. 3 wide to the right, 3 wide to the left, 3 linemen. Quarterback, this time they go left, the short side, and this time they'll pick up 4 or 5 yardage. And Flinders is the receiver this time. He's close to the 10-yard line. He'll pick up about 4. It'll be 2nd and 6.
So 2nd and 6 now. You said that was that same formation. They had the turnover off the last possession. This time, like you said, going to the left, and I'm not sure if that's a read or not. But it looks like they're lining up again here in that same formation. See what else they can run out of this formation.
All right, Christensen. He's looking across the middle. He's got a man. Nice ball from Christensen. And that's a touchdown to Victor Thornton.
So Victor Thornton across the middle on the post route. Gosh, that was a great ball, and Victor Thornton using his body, staying between the ball and the defender, and Christensen delivering a strike right where it needed to be. Thornton, all he had to do was bring it in and run into the end zone for another score for the Wildcats here. As the clock now they're winding that clock.
All right, so now it's a 57-point night for the Wildcats as they go up 57-6. 11-yard pass from Christensen to Thornton, and Thornton gets on the scoring column tonight with a nice slant route in, catches it right in the numbers. South Summit will continue to build on this big lead. And now I guess that clock's just basically up to the referee's discretion.
Who knows?
Who knows?
You just
wait for them out there. We'll
wait
take
for them to wave their arms or to wind it.
All right, so Summit Academy will get another opportunity, and we'll see at what point these subs come in.
So some upcoming games for South Summit. Next week, South Summit will be playing against Gunnison, and it'll be our 2nd away game for the Wildcats at Gunnison High School next week at 7 o'clock. And the following week will be against Layton Christian back at home, and North Summit will be the Friday, October 11th. And then we'll finish out region play on the road against Miller on the 17th of October. So the rest of the games here are in region play.
So Harley Georgie now kicking into the south side of the field. He was unable to put him through the back of the end zone on that south side, which means I'm guessing that wind played a bit of a role on that as he drilled him hard to the north side. We'll see what happens this time as Georgie is back to kick. And it's going to be a shorter end over end. It's going to hit the ground right at the 16. And that's a loose ball. Summit Academy waits on it and almost gave up a cheap one to South Summit as he waited almost like it was a punt till he realized I can't do that.
Yeah.
And he's going to get it out to about the 20.
That ball checked up nicely. If that's what his intent was, it bounced and went right down. And it, like you said, he looked like he almost backed away from that ball to start with and realized, nope, this is a kickoff. I better get on it.
That's the end of 3. South Summit leading 57-6. We'll take a break and be back with fourth quarter action. South Summit having a great homecoming night on a big, big night over Summit Academy. Summit Academy back on the offensive end. South Summit now puts in some subs as Hines is going to roll right, and he's looking for a man. Comes with a little soft pass to number 24, Harp. Nice pass from Hines. He's going to pick up the first down. About a 17-yard pickup out to the 42-yard line. Let's go through some players. We got Clegg, 71, Hanson, 44, Porter Fitzgerald, 45, 11, Halen Rockhill, number 56. Is Andy Mitchell. Number 1 now in at linebacker is Ethan Miles. We'll get a few more of them as some substitutions on the defensive end and here comes Hanson. He's going to get the sack on Hines. Nice job from Hanson on a blitz on that left linebacker spot. Nobody touched him, and he's all over Hines for the big loss. So a nice play there by Daxton Hanson.
Looked like a broken play for Summit Academy. He looked the pitch, and nobody was home. And by that time, Daxton Hanson had already broken through and had no chance as Hanson took him down right after that pitch was supposed to be delivered.
All right, who's that right corner over there? Is that still Santos?
Yep, that's Bracken
and who's
Santos.
The right linebacker? Harley Georgie's in.
Harley Georgie, Bracken Santos, Hunter Angel still in there.
Who are the 2 tackles? We'll get the tackles here in a minute. Looks like they got Ethan Miles here now at the left defensive end. Hines on a little seam route. Wide open, but the receiver didn't even look as he didn't even see the ball coming. It'll bring up now 3rd and long yardage for the Bears, about 3rd and 21, 22 yards.
Number 56 still there. Andy Mitchell, as you said, is your tackle. Your other tackle looks like 80. Is that 86? Don't have an 86. 66?
66. Chris Castona, that's who that is.
We got Matt Lee, sophomore safety, in there, number 8 for the Wildcats.
All right, so Hines looking at a little bit of a new defense here in terms of personnel for the Wildcats. Got some time. He's hit just as he throws on a little flag route out to the right-hand side. It's going to be incomplete. That'll bring up 4th and long, and Summit Academy will have to punt.
Ty Clegg providing the pressure there against the quarterback, and he got rid of it just before he got drilled, and it looked like it shook him up a little bit.
Number 50 for South Summit also coming off. Chandler Rose in on the play. And again, Tillett and Gines back for South Summit.
Caden Christensen in the linebacker spot in there now. Number 33 in there as well. Tom Pace for the Wildcats.
All right, let's see if one of these guys can't catch one in the air, break one. And Hines will punt it. It's going to be high. And it hits right at the 40 and is going to be down at the 40. So South Summit will take over right at their own 40-yard line. And it looks like coming in, we'll get them as they come in. 60 coming in
Michael
is Mike
Yost,
62.
That That's Riley
Allen on offense.
60.
Castone is still in at 66. 78, Hunter Angel coming in. Looks like, is that Ty Clegg still 71 in there?
It's hard to tell, and it looks like they're going to call a timeout trying to get some of these younger guys in. And that's kind of a battle, too. You're trying to make sure you get enough guys in there, and you're really just counting heads and sending guys in. And they're trying to figure out who they want to come in. So
we'll take a little break as they figure it out here. South Summit having a big night, leading 57-6 with 8:24 left in the ball game. All right, Christensen still running the quarterback for the Wildcats. Looks like is that Freestone in the backfield.
Keaton Giants in the motion there.
And Christensen will keep. Got good yardage, and he's going to pick up big yardage, about close to 30 yards, 25, 26 yards. They're all the way down to the 34-yard line of Summit Academy. So good run there by Christensen. He'll pick up the first down, and it'll be 1st and 10 at that point. 55 in, Richin, Santos coming in.
It's like they've got most of their starting line back into the ball game. Ty Clegg, Brad Richins, Braden Crystal.
Got McNair wide left, Keaton Giants slot, and in motion comes Tillett. They're going to have flags blow up as there's
Keaton
movement.
Giants moved a little bit coming this direction. Had Tillett in motion, and then Keaton kind of just flinched towards the line of scrimmage, and they got him on that. So that'll back him up 5 yards.
So 1st and 15 for South Summit. Ball now out to the 39-yard line. And Ethan Miles will bring the play in from the sideline. And we're just getting close to under 7 minutes in this ball game. Last activity of the night will be a dance tonight following the game. And we'll cap off a successful week of activities as they pitch out wide to Keaton Giants. And Keaton with his speeds cutting back. Good open field tackle. Here comes another flag flying in from 15, 20 yards away.
I need somebody to go down there and take the flags away from the officials so this ball game will just keep going.
Oh, good. They haven't stopped it,
no,
so
it's
it'll
still
keep
running.
winding. So Keaton Giants picked up close to 10. The ball's right at the 30, and he started at the 39, so about a 9-yard pickup, but a penalty on South Summit.
Did they call holding? I didn't even see the call.
I don't know if they've even given the official call yet, have they, or did they?
I didn't see it, but
they're getting quick with it. Now the ball will be moved out to the 44-yard line, so they'll lose 10. It'll be 1st and about 20.
Harley Georgie coming in on offense for the Wildcats, bringing in the play. He'll split out wide to the right.
So Christensen continuing to quarterback. Got Freestone behind him. And Tillett comes in motion. Ball's on the ground, and it looks like, does Summit Academy get on it?
Nope, I think he picked it back up.
Oh, Christensen just able to pick it back up. Little problem on the snap. And so it'll bring up now second
down.
Second down, about 22 yards.
79 right there for Summit Academy. Almost picking up the ball. That's Dakota Pinnell.
And once again, ball's on the ground on the snap. And it looks like this time Summit Academy is going to come up with it. And they do. Consecutive possessions where the ball hits the ground.
And I'm not sure if it was a different center in there that's been in there the whole game or not, but the last two snaps, was it Ty Clegg again? So, again, this is an opportunity for these quarterback, for Caden to get back in there and kind of get some of the timing down, and it may pay dividends in the end if for some reason we need to put Caden back in there at that quarterback position. It's kind of shake off the rust here. You see some of those exchanges have been a little bit shaky so far.
Luke Sidaway in at the left linebacker spot along with Thomas Pace. And number 58, Jacoby Large, is checked into the ball game. So some
few
younger
new
guys
faces
getting
out
some
there.
work. Clock continuing to run, 4:24 as Hines throws, got a man. He's going to pick up the first down, driven out of bounds by Santos. He'll pick up 13, 14 yards. They'll get the first down. Ball's across to the 38, 1st and 10, Summit Academy.
A little bit of life there for Summit Academy as they get back into South Summit territory. And some of these players that are getting in are getting some quality time. Another one of those comeback routes. And it's been successful for Summit Academy all night long. As we said, next week they'll travel to Gunnison, take on the Bulldogs of Gunnison. Swing
All
pass.
right, little swing pass hit right there on the money. Is that Sidaway? Nope, that's Clegg. Ty Clegg from that left defensive end spot. Good job, Ty Clegg. Snuffs that little swing route out. Right there as the ball approaches him. He's going to lose 5 or 6, and that'll bring now up 2nd and 15, 16.
Nathan McKay was the receiver for Summit Academy as we have a player down. Looks like that's Ty Clegg right there. Maybe got rolled up. Not sure what happened there. Wasn't he the one that made the play on that?
Yeah, he did. Looks like we got a new quarterback. Looks like number 14 for Summit Academy. Sagan Fredrickson in at quarterback. He's looking to throw left. Nice ball. Goes right through the hands of the intended receiver for Summit Academy. Is that 25, it looks like?
21? No, I believe it's 21. Andrew Smith. Broken up by Jared Blazard. Is that what I heard in there? He looks like Jared Blazard's in there. Number 51 for the Wildcats, so that outside linebacker position.
3rd and 16 for Summit Academy. Ball's at the South Summit 44-yard line. 2:42 left. Fredrickson rolling left. He's got a man. Nice pass to Fredrickson, and he's going to be right close to the first down marker. Good throw by the Bear, new quarterback. And Fredrickson, a junior 5'10 quarterback for Summit Academy. A little more mobile than Hines, not nearly as big. And looks like he's just going to be short of the first down marker.
They did have a penalty flag way back there. The only thing I can think of is that it's roughing the passer as he was hit after the throw, but it looked like it was directly after the throw. I'm not sure why they may have thrown that, but they're discussing it right now. As over there, I'm not sure what they're talking about here, but looks like we've got another Wildcat new player coming in, number 60, Yost, coming back in for the Wildcats, replacing 66, Chris Castana, excuse me.
All right, a little bit of an update on some of these games again. Millard continuing and does beat North Summit 10-0. Gunnison beating ALA 27-12 with 12 just the beginning of the fourth quarter. Enterprise leading South Sevier 32-14. Grand still leading at the beginning of 4 over Beaver 7-6, and San Juan beats Parowan 24-0. So a couple of these games still pretty interesting. Enterprise over South Sevier Big's kind of an interesting score because South Sevier had beaten San Juan earlier in the year. And Millard, I think, beating North Summit's a bit of a surprise. North Summit's been having a good year. He went into the game 3-1. And they just beat Summit Academy last week. So a lot of interesting things going on tonight in 2A football.
Looks like it was a penalty against South Summit. Tacked on, 15-yard penalty. So they are now inside the red zone for the second time tonight. They'll wind the clock here. And now they're stopping the clock again, waiting for the Whitecap to get in position. And now
to say
they'll
the least, it's been a little bit of an interesting refereeing game tonight.
There's a fumble.
Fumbles on the ground. Miscommunication on that snap. Almost looked like the motion man got hit with the snap.
It looks like South Summit may have ended up with it. So, yeah, South Summit taking advantage there of the poor snap and getting on the ball. I did not see who got the recovery.
So Summit Academy unable to take advantage of good field position inside the South Summit 20, they'll turn the ball over again. That's got to be.
That's going to do it probably for their offense. South Summit should be able to hold on to the ball and run this thing out.
5th or 6th penalty or turnover on the night for Summit Academy, as they've had 2 or 3 interceptions, a couple of fumbles. In South Summit, I don't think we've still had to punt, have we? We've had the 1 turnover.
We did have the turnover.
I think that's the only time we haven't scored is on a fumble. And Christensen will keep.
Matt Lee,
Matt
we
Lee,
got a new
actually.
quarterback in, not Christensen. The sophomore Matt Lee now in, taking a couple of snaps. He'll probably only get 1 or 2 more, as we're now under 1 minute in this homecoming 100-year anniversary of South Summit High School. And
good way to celebrate.
Good night to celebrate. Another big night of football. And South Summit will now go to 5-0. Will continue to be the top team in 2A. And my guess is those teams laying ahead of us will not be too excited to see South Summit roll into town, as they'll be going to Gunnison next week. And they'll pitch this time off to Tillett. Tillett stumbling over players.
It looks like he may have fumbled it, put it on the floor.
Seems to be on the. Oh, looks like they're going to say he was down. South Summit will maintain possession, getting a little sloppy here with 19 seconds left. Might be a good chance to just say, all right.
You're not going to do another play.
Job done.
don't.
Been a little sloppy these last few minutes. Pretty hard to stay motivated in a 57-6 game. And that'll do it. And we'll close the book on a great night for South Summit as they lead and win by 51 points, 57-6. And for the most part, that'll close the activities, excluding a big dance tonight that the kids will celebrate a great week of homecoming. We want to send a great thanks to all of you who participated in any way in the homecoming week. It's been a great week of celebrating South Summit and 100 years of existence, and a great opportunity and a great education here that South Summit provides, and a great athletic experience as well. So congratulations to this football team. Congratulations to the volleyball team with a big win this week, and all the other clubs who participated. Soccer, I know, lost a heartbreaker. Wanted to send a shout out to the South Summit golf team taking a region first place this week.
Must have been coaching. Must have been the coaching.
Congratulations to the South Summit golf team, first place this week over Manti, who has beaten us the last 4. We beat them the first week. So a successful week all the way around for many groups and opportunities. And good job, South Summit, all the way. And all those parents and community members, teachers, administration, and all those who have helped make this a great week. It's been a lot of work, and a lot have gone into a lot of extra work this week. The Booster Club and a whole host of many people who have done a lot of great work to make this a really exciting week. And, you know, I doubt many of us will be around for the next 100-year celebration, but hopefully in another 100 years, over the next 100, it'll be many years ahead for South Summit and all the programs and opportunities it provides. For Rory Bowen, this is Cody Bowen. For Brennan Gee, all the South Summit students, for All West, for new access to YouTube, and all those who are watching South Summit and our sponsors, we appreciate it. Have a great night and a good weekend, and we'll talk to you soon.